We will now practice the application of exponents raised to negative powers and exponents raised to zero powers, and simplify these expressions in terms of positive exponents. Here I have 2 raised to the negative 3, which I know is 1 over 2 to the positive 3, times 2 raised to the 0. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. So I have 1 over 2 raised to the 3rd power times 1 is 1 over 2 to the 3rd power, which equals 1 over 2 to the 3rd power is 8. Here I have 6 squared times 6 to the negative 4th. When I have my like basis of 6, I add my exponents when I multiply. So I have 2 plus negative 4, which gives me 6 raised to the negative 2, which is 1 over erases. Here I have 1 over 6 squared, which equals 1 over 36. Here I have 4 to the negative 1, all raised to the 1/3 power. When I have a power raised to a power, I multiply my power, so I have 4 raised to the negative 1 times negative 3, which gives me 4 raised to the 3rd power, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. Here I have 3 squared raised to the negative 1. Again, when I have a power raised to a power, I multiply my power, so I have 3 raised to the 2 times negative 1. So I end up with 3 to the negative 2, which equals 1 over 3 squared. The reciprocal, when I have a negative exponent, the reciprocal is a positive exponent, so I have 1 over 3 squared, which is 1 over 9. I have 10 times 2 raised to the negative 2. I can distribute the negative 2 to the 10 and to the negative 2. I can start out by just putting the whole negative exponent over 1. So I have 10 times 2 to the positive exponent 2, which now I can distribute 1 over 10 squared times 2 squared, which equals 1 over 100 times 4, which is equal to 1 over 100 times 4 is 400. And my last example up here, I have negative 2 times 2, all raised to the negative 2 power. So I have 1 over negative 2 times 2 to the positive 2nd power. And I can distribute that negative, or that 2, so I have 1 over negative 2 squared times 2 squared. 1 over negative 2 squared is 4. 4. And 2 squared times 2 squared is 4, so I have 1 over 16. Now down here I want to simplify my expressions because I have variables as my bases raised to negative and 0 exponents. And if I want to simplify, I want my exponent to be a positive value. To make my exponent here, x to the raised to the negative 5th, is going to be x, or 1 over x to the positive 5th power. Here I have x to the negative 2 power times y to the 4th. Y to the 4th is a positive power over, I'm going to make this a positive exponent, over 1 over x squared. Here I have 1 over x to the negative 2 power. I know my negative x, something raised to a negative power is a reciprocal, so I'm going to have x to the second power over 1, reciprocal 1 over x to the negative 2. I have x squared. Here I have y to the 4th over x to the negative 10th. So I have y to the 4th times x to the positive 10th power. I cannot combine these because they are not like bases. One is y, one is x. Here I have 4 times x, all raised to the negative 3rd power. I can take the reciprocal of that entire thing, so I have 4x raised to the 3rd power. Then I can distribute my 3rd power, so I have 1 to the 4 to the 3rd power times x to the 3rd power. And I know 4 to the 3rd at this point is 64. 64 times x cubed. And my last one, I have x times x to the negative 3, all raised to the 3rd power. So I'll distribute my 3rd power here. I have 6 cubed times x to the negative 3 times 3. That gives me 6 to the 3rd power times x to the negative 9, which gives me 6 to the 3rd power over x to the 9th.